Welcome back to another video. You are tuned in with Solo Key, and today we're doing something a tad bit different. Alright, we're doing something a tad bit different. We're doing a nice little review on a beta that came out not too long ago. I don't know if you got to play it, but it was called My Hero Academia Ultra Rumble. That is a My Hero Academia Battle Royale, guys. I never thought that would happen. There's something I want to say before we get into it though. Alright, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a humongous anime fan. And with that being said, I don't have a lot of anime content on the channel itself, and I don't know what the reason is for that. It could be because a lot of anime games just haven't been that good recently, and then a lot of the good ones are old, and I'm a little scared to maybe resurface them. I'm not sure, but I would love to get some more anime content on the channel, and this gives an opportunity to do that. So I'm gonna talk about it. We're gonna give a nice little review because I got to play it. I got a lot to say. Not really. So before we get into the actual review and the bulk of it, I just want to say this game was extremely fun for a Battle Royale. It was very cool to see the My Hero characters that we all know and love duke it out and get combinations that we probably wouldn't see in the show, as well as seeing the maps, well, one map that we can all relate to from season 1, which was the USJ. I love being able to see these characters and see them actually fight in movesets that we probably didn't always get to see in the show either. Alright, but this game was super fun, very colorful, very vibrant, bro. It was a good time. I can't lie, this was a good time. If you got to play, let me know down in the comments how you like the game. Moving on from that, there are a few things in the game that need help. So we got about like 15 characters in the game, and I think maybe 5 or 6 classes. I think those classes consist of Assault, Striker, Technical, Rapid, and Support, if I'm not mistaken. They all give their different boosts, being like defense, attack boost, speed boost, cooldown, and regenerative abilities. But it gives for combinations. So team comps would become a thing if you were really trying to get into I guess ranked, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna add to the game. Which means that these characters need to be up to par, and they're gonna have to regulate the game, which they probably will. Bandai Namco does a really good job with regulating this game and doing regular updates, so that's probably gonna happen anyways. But as far as the beta, things that I noticed that I definitely want to be fixed or touched upon, there's a few. One of those things, starting us off, is the movement. Right now in the beta, the movement seems very wide, like broad, sluggish, in terms of the left analog stick moving your character around. Seems like they don't know how to move their bodies. Like it's a huge swings for turns, wide swings, and it makes scaling things and getting to different surfaces, running up certain surfaces really hard when there's a lot of stuff going on around you. I think to help that, maybe just make it more snappy, close some of that. I feel like this should be an easy adjustment if they really wanted to, unless that's how the game's supposed to feel. In that regard, we'll just have to get used to it. But I hope that's not the case. And if that does stay the same, then you would have to adjust the maps to accommodate that accordingly. There's the stairs in certain parts of the map, I think it's Fire Zone, where if you don't hit that turn correctly, like you're in a freaking 18-wheeler, you're just not going to get the steps. You're just going to run off and hit the side. Hopefully that gets adjusted. Besides that, another thing that was like really big in this game was the finishers that they added, which are kind of like a must. When you knock opponents down, they don't instantly die if you kill the full team like in other games. So you have to finish them yourself, or else in 20 seconds they'll be out walking around again. You won't know where they went. Your finisher is probably going to be a big part of the play, considering it gives you all your shield back. And with that being said, the animation for the finishers sucks right now. If you start a finisher on an opponent, you're locked in that animation, so it seems, but whoever you're finishing can be picked up in res and you'll still be stuck in the animation. I feel like to remedy this, either have the animation cancel or clash with the attempt to revive on that character, so that we don't get stuck in animation and they don't get a free revive because we clocked them. They should stay dead. Even if they get some hits off or something, we shouldn't just be losing the person we're doing a finisher on like our eyes are closed. Besides that, everything else is more so character based, and the minor adjustments that I know they'll get to, the networking and the lags and things of that nature, that's just beta nonsense. So I'm not really worried about that. But some of these things in the beta, character wise, move list wise, frames and hitbox wise, it's questionable. There are some characters that are stronger than others, of course, per class, per moveset, but certain things shouldn't whiff as much as they're whiffing and miss as many times as they're missing. Whether that be tracking, bad hitboxes, clashing, I don't know. But there are 2 characters that I think are very strong right now that should not be as strong as they are. And that is Shigaraki and Mount Lady. I don't know if you played the beta, but Shigaraki is a powerhouse. He has one of the biggest hitboxes and the easiest hitboxes for his most common attack that gives really good damage considering the hitbox. There are other characters here that do more damage off their standard attack, but it is not as fast and the hitbox is not as big to where I think he might need a damage nerf. I don't want his hitbox to go down. It makes him harder to use, and that's not really what we're looking for. I don't like nerfing characters. I feel you should just make other characters bigger. But this man deletes health, literally deletes health. My second game using him, I got 9,000 damage and like 6 kills. He deletes health, alright? Besides that, Mount Lady. Her ability is obviously to grow in size, and her moves scale with her, the hitboxes scale with her. So the damage that she can output, which is boosted when she's bigger, should not be as high as it is considering her hitbox is bigger and she won't even miss as much compared to the other characters. Right, those are my 2 top recommendations for slight nerfs that need to be made in terms of damage and or hitboxes. Everyone else kind of needs some pick-me-ups. Like Kendo, Ida, Kaminari, Cementos, and some other characters could use some tracking adjustments. Tracking in this game is pretty bad right now. Hopefully they'll remedy that as well. The damage, some of their moves are go-to moves that whiff way too much, whether it be their strongest attacks or their quickest attacks, their most cooldown ready attacks. And they miss bad tracking a lot for them to even be viable. Ida can kind of get away with it because he's really fast, but a lot of these other characters can't do that, to where if you're going to miss, you're probably going to die. So yeah, biggest thing probably being tracking. The damage isn't too bad. I feel like everyone else's damage is okay, except that their hitboxes are bad and they can't deal it all the time. But the 2 characters that have the biggest, that don't have any problem hitting, deal the highest damage as well, and that's not good. So I feel like the review side is kind of done. Now there was another side of this that I was very interested in. Like I mentioned, we got 6 classes and your boy has a wish list. Alright, there are some characters I really want to see. Because this is My Hero Academia, there's a lot of characters that they can actually add into the game. A lot of fan favorites as well that I'm sure we would love to see in here, hero or villain. Okay, not sure how their moves will work entirely, but I know you guys will probably figure it out, and I hope the dev team. Before we get started, if you do have a wish list, characters you love to see in the game, or characters you love while you got to play the beta or watch it, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear you guys take on it. Alright, so my wish list, like I said, we have 6 classes. We have Assault, Striker, Rapid, Technical, and Support. So for this wish list, I did come up one for each class. And I can't, well, really like 2 for each class. Some of them I wanted to give options, or some of them I couldn't really decide. I decided to give like 2 for each, alright? So abilities wise, I'm not too sure, but I know it can be done. So we're gonna start off with Assault. Now Assault characters get a slight defense boost, and they have, I think most of them have the longest combo strings of light attacks. Now for this class, I recommend either Muscular or Kirishima. Alright, I feel like both of these characters have good potential for combos and abilities that let them get in close in terms of rushing or dealing out damage and quick flurry attacks. And I feel like that could be a good add, or just really fun characters that we know and will love to see in the game. After that, we got Strikers. Now Strikers give a damage boost to their entire team, and for these 2 characters, I have Endeavor and Stain. I have Endeavor because we know he's a powerhouse. Yes, we have 5 characters already. We know Endeavor has a different kit than Todoroki and Doc. I'm sure they could do something that would be interesting to see, and it'd be cool to see Endeavor in the game, considering he's one of the most popular characters in the show. And then Stain, we already know what his deal is. It would just be entirely cool to see him in the game as well. Alright, after that we have Technical, and one of my favorites that I really want to see in the game, Overhaul. I would love to see Overhaul in this game. I feel like he was taken from the show way too fast. I don't care what anyone else says. I love that man. He's really cool. I would love to see him in here, and his abilities would be so cool if they implement him. And I also have Best Genius. I feel like he'd be cool as well. I feel like his quirk works specifically in situations that you would have to use him correctly, which I would love to see, which would make him fit the term Technical. I'd be down to see him in the game too. It'd be fun. Why not? Now then after that we have Rapid. My other favorite is in this category as well. Rapid's already pretty strong right now, with Froppy and Ida being pretty good characters. Toga as well. I would love to see Hawks. Hawks is like my favorite character in the show besides Overhaul. I feel like he could be done so amazing in this game. Please put this man, Bill. Please put this man in the game. Put him in the game, bro. Just put him in the game. Put him in the game. He better be there. I will buy him. If he's in the game, I play no one else. Maybe Overhaul, but I play no one else. I'm just gotta be honest. His feather abilities would be, I feel like, be pretty simple to implement. And then my second for that category would be Gran Torino. Gran Torino obviously has speed and he can traverse the map well, right? And he also has combat speed. So I feel like that'd be not too hard to implement as well. He getting close to his enemies and deal damage backing out of the area as well. Now for support was a little bit hard, but one of my good recommendations for this probably Kamui Woods. I feel like he'd fit this, being able to either trap enemies or get his team out to a safe area. And then I also have Twice. He could fit a support role. I just didn't really know where else to put him, but I would love to see Twice in the game. I feel like he could have a attack, kind of a clone, rushing out and dealing damage. And then in terms of supporting his team, he could probably do a decoy when he goes to res and things like that. I feel like it'd be really cool to see him in the game. He's a really fun character. One of the fan favorites. You gotta put him in there. I would love to see all these characters in the game, as well as more that I didn't even mention. I feel like there's so many that they could actually pull. They got a lot of villains and a lot of even more heroes to play around with, and most of them are either cool and we love to see more of them, or already fan favorite. But that'll wrap up this video. Like I said, if you played the beta, if you enjoyed it, if you watched it, let me know how you felt about it, and if there's any characters that you would like to see in the game, put them down below as well, and drop a like and subscribe before you leave the video. That's all for me. Peace out. See you in the next one.